every single Eastern Conference team and give them a tier ranking of how good I think they will be this season. So let's really try to figure out how good we can expect this Raptors team to be. Okay, as I always do, I do this every single offseason. We come up with the 5 tiers. The bona fide contenders, the dark horses, the teams that, they win a championship. I'm not surprised, but they are not on the top tier of Eastern Conference teams. There's playoff teams. Yeah, they'll make the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to go much further than that. There's teams that are playing tournament caliber, what the tournament's designed for to make the season more relevant for a longer period of time. And there's teams that I think are just flat out missing the playoffs. Obviously, every year I'm on point with some, very off with others. So let's see what we get this season. Going in order, just how it is laid out down here. And subject to change as we go through. But first of all, the Brooklyn Nets, you don't know what they are. After they lost KD and Kyrie, they really struggled. They had a good enough cushion. They still made the playoffs. Got wiped in the first round. I'll throw them as like a 9 or 10 seed now, but I'm going to consider dropping them. We'll see how I go throughout this. Celtics, some people haven't loved the Porzingis pickup. I think the Porzingis pickup makes them better. Porzingis is coming off the best year of his career. Really dialed in as a defender last year and really dialed in as a scorer last year. I think he fits them extremely well. I'm not as concerned about the Marcus Smart departure as other people have made it out. I think that the Celtics are legit contenders. They are legit contenders, of course. I think they got even better in the offseason. Atlanta, another difficult one to piece, but I wasn't convinced last year. Going into the season last year, I bet they're under on win total. I did not think that they were capable of being a true playoff team. They were a play-in tournament team. They got through in the play-in tournament, snuck a couple of games off a team they really shouldn't have in Boston, but I still think they're a play-in caliber team, an upper-tier play-in caliber team. Chicago Bulls, they're a bit of a mess. They're kind of like the Raptors. They're hanging on to something they shouldn't really hang on to, but I'm not convinced by this team. I think they will miss the playoffs, and I think it will look really bad when they do. I'm not sure we're going to go through enough teams that I make them a 10 or better here. It could move them up, but as of right now, I think that they're going to be around 11th on the outside looking in. Cleveland, as much as I think they overpaid for some guys in the summer, that's my hot take. Not many people agree with me there. They're still a good team. They've solved a lot of the shooting problems. I said this last year, I doubt that backcourt duo when it comes to the playoff time. Donovan Mitchell, Darius Garland, lovely players. Is that backcourt good enough for defense in the playoffs? Is that backcourt good enough to get you buckets when you need it? I don't know. The swing factor for Cleveland that makes them a dark horse is if Evan Mobley's hitting threes. If he's hitting 33, 34%, this is a dark horse. Because that's not going to happen, in my opinion. Too many non-shooters. They solved their shooting a little bit with small forward pickups like Max Strus and Georges Niang. Defense is going to struggle. I think they're a playoff team. I don't think they're going to go very, very far. Next up is the Charlotte Hornets. They suck. They suck. And Brandon Miller, I'm not sold on. They suck. LaMelo can only do so much. I really rate LaMelo Ball. The East is too good at this present point. Detroit, they need time. They're not there yet. They could really be the bottom seed in the Eastern Conference this year. They're getting better. Love the pickup of Osar Thompson at number 5. They got ways to go still, even if Cade is back. Defense is going to be a problem. Yeah, Monty's there, but they need time. They're not there yet. Not much more to say about the Detroit Pistons. The Indiana Pacers, they're a very big swing team here. I could see them being a playoff team. I could see them missing the playoffs. Ultimately, oh man, I'm a big Tyrese Halliburton believer. They're adding in some interesting pieces, right? I thought their draft was pretty good. Just Bruce Brown's overpaid, but a good pickup to have for a year. They got better. They're really tough to rank. I'm going to put him here for now as 10 seed. I might have to move him down, but they could just straight up make the playoffs, and I don't think I would be too shocked. Miami, another one where last year I had them lower than other people, and I was right, but then they got to the NBA Finals. But they got worse. Gabe Vincent left, Max Strus left, 2 guys who started for them in the playoffs. Nobody replaced them. Dame is looking like, more and more by the day that it's not going to happen. This team that finished 7th and was 3 minutes away from getting knocked out in the play-in tournament. Yeah, they caught fire. They caught lightning in a bottle in the playoffs. They caught extremely lucrative shooting variants. I'm not convinced this is a bona fide playoff team. I'll put them at 7 for now. subject to change, for real, subject to change. I don't think I can put them top 6. I mean, I eventually have to put somebody in my top 6, don't I? So maybe they will move up. But let's keep going here. We'll save Toronto for last. Keep watching the end of the video. Make sure you watch to the end so you know where Toronto ends up. Milwaukee, like, come on, what do we got to say? That's a legit contender. Giannis is there. I know they lost first round. That was a failure, by the way, losing to an 8 seed in the first round in 5 games. But Giannis is there. Middleton's there. Lopez is there. They will always bolster the deadline. They have a talented team. That is a bona fide contender. You guys can't tell me anything different. This is where there's a drop-off. Because typically, you had the Sixers. It's like, okay, can they hang around up here? Maybe, but probably not. But, could they win a championship? Yes. They're a dysfunctional group. I think that Tyrese Maxey could get the Mikal Bridges treatment in the sense that, okay, you upgrade his role. He can be special out of the shadow of James Harden's touches. Maybe. But I don't know if he's quite there to do so as of yet. We'll see. But there's dysfunction there. There's Tobias Harris still on $40 million for one more year. They're not even next to my list here. But I'm just trying to think, who am I actually going to put in the top 6 here? Who am I actually going to put here? I'll put New York up here. I don't think they're a dark horse. They're a playoff team. That's a good team. Josh Hart made that team better. Brunson's going to improve. Randall, you don't know. He's really good, but is he going to be really, really that good again? I don't know. It's a good team, but I'd be shocked if they won a championship. I may have to go no dark horses here. This might be a weird one. It just may be we eliminate that category because I don't put any team on the level where they are going to compete with Boston or Milwaukee. The Magic are fun. Ultimately, I think they'll miss the playoffs. The 76ers are going to be good, but are they up here with these two? I don't think so. I think either of these teams wipe the Sixers in the playoffs if that comes to be. Washington are a team that don't know what they're doing. They are, they looked like they were going to sell. They traded all these guys for peanuts, and then they signed Kyle Kuzma. Then they got Tyus Jones, didn't trade him. Tyus Jones, I love him as a point guard. Jordan Poole with a bigger role might excel. We talk about Tyrese Maxey as a guy who could excel in a bigger role. I'm not convinced Jordan Poole will do it, but some of you guys have said on the channel that you are convinced. So let me know in the comments here, can Jordan Poole be that guy? Even if he is, though, I don't think that is a play-in caliber team, which leaves the Raptors. Honestly, let's go through one by one. Are they better than Detroit? Yes. Are they better than Charlotte? Yes. Are they better than Orlando? Yeah. Orlando's probably better than Washington. Orlando's getting better, but I still think Toronto's better. I think Toronto's better than Chicago. And I think we're looking at another season where we're not selling. We're clearly a team that wants to win. I'm going to knock the Pacers out. I think we'll be better than the Pacers. Pacers could be better than Brooklyn. The Hawks are probably better than us, which makes me have to put Miami up here. So I was roasting Miami, but all of a sudden now they could be a top 6 seed still. You know what? A top 6 seed is more open than it has been previously. The East has lost a lot of its competitiveness in the last year. This time last year, talking about the East is taken over, but with all these guys leaving the East, I don't trust Philly. I don't. I don't trust Philly. If Philly won a championship without Harden, if Harden's there playing, it's different, but I don't think he will be. But Philly got worse. They did. And if they won a championship, I would genuinely be shocked. If they came out of the East, I would be shocked. There was no team other than Boston or Milwaukee that I can even perceive getting out of the Eastern Conference. It really is top heavy here. I can't change what I have in the top. I can't put a dark horse. We may have to just remove this tier altogether. Because I don't see a team on that level. So I think these are playoff teams. New York and Cleveland can swing here. I could even swing Philly back here, but I'll leave them there for now because at the end of the day, Embiid is there. I think Max can step up. Atlanta just have a little bit too much for Toronto, I think. But I don't put it past Toronto ending up in the top 6. So this is difficult. I think that I could look back on this, and I will look back on this in 1 year's time, as I always do. I could look back and look really stupid on this one because I just don't see which team will rise up and claim that home court spot because it's not obvious looking here. It was obvious last year. There was going to be Boston, Philly, and Milwaukee, but this year, Philly are not the obvious choice. But I still think they have a bit more than these other teams do, but I can really see them. I can really see them not having a super fun year. Nurse is probably better than that, so I'll still have him number 3. I think Nick Nurse is still a great coach. But Toronto's going to have a difficult run to get to the playoffs. It's going to be, I think, a better but similar year with competitiveness. It's going to be, what the second half of the season was, where it's like, okay, we're in a playing spot. Where's our ranking? But that for the full year. I don't think we'll have that super big fall off like we did in December area trying to claw back. But because, we had success with Pirtle, yeah, maybe we got a little bit worse without Fred. I can still see us ending up in this area. But would love to hear your guys' thoughts, as always. This is tough. This is tough this year. It really is.